And good morning, everyone. This is Mike Moneypenny, the hydrologist here at the National Weather Service in Raleigh on a beautiful Columbus Day, post-Hurricane Matthew. So we'll begin our morning and weekly briefing today. And not a whole lot going on for this week, which is fortunate because we're going to be dealing with the cleanup is left over and with all the issues from Hurricane Matthew all the way through the remainder of the week. We've got high pressure, which is going to be building in, looking at temperatures on the cool side actually. In fact, temperatures last night we saw some low and mid 40s, and for tonight we're looking at the low 40s just about everywhere. Could even see some very upper 30s in some outlying areas. As we go through the week, tomorrow will be our coolest day with 65 to 70 degrees, and then as we head into the late part of the week, just a very gentle warming trend, looking at probably low 70s Wednesday, warming into the mid 70s right on in through the weekend and to kick off early next week. Precipitation wise and severe weather wise, we're not looking at much of anything. Everything is looking good, so we'll have a really good dry weather, cool weather for the rescue folks and the cleanup crews to get out there and take care of business. Again, our forecast rain amounts pretty much zero. Nothing going on in the tropics as well. Normally this would be like a 30-second briefing, but we will talk a little bit here towards the end about what's going on with Matthew in the rivers. Here's our temperature and probability and precipitation probability outlooks for the longer term. Temperatures warming back up early next week with above normal temperatures expected from the 17th to the 23rd, and no precipitation, not that we need any right now. So talking about what's on everyone's mind right now, this is a kind of a rough precipitation estimate from Hurricane Matthew, showing a lot of areas that are in the pinker and purplish colors across the I-95 corridor with precipitation exceeding 10 inches over a lot of the area. Some places recorded as much as 15, but the red colors go all the way back across most of the Piedmont. Pretty heavy drop-off as you go back in over towards the Triad area where precipitation amounts just an inch or two. And what that's done for us, as everyone is well aware, has caused a lot of flooding. And I'm just going to go ahead and go through really quickly, since I am the hydrologist and it's kind of what's on everyone's mind, just a quick look at our river forecast for eastern North Carolina, especially here in central North Carolina. I'm going to work my way from the northeast kind of down to the south. And we'll be starting up at the Tar River in Lewisburg, where the river is just about cresting early this morning at major flood stage. And it looks like it'll remain above flood for just another day or two, starting to fall off a little bit later today. And going on downstream to Rocky Mount, it's already in major flood, a few feet above, but it's already crested as well. But all that water from Lewisburg has still got to make it down there, so that's going to prolong the major flooding all the way into Tuesday night, and with the minor flooding continuing on into the late part of the week. And even farther downstream at Tarboro, with the major flood stage is 32 feet, they were at 35 or 29 feet and still rising this morning, and are going to be cresting a couple of feet above the major flood stage probably tonight or early tomorrow morning, and then lingering above major flood stage right on in through Thursday, with moderate flooding at least on into the weekend. Moving over to the Neuse River, we crested yesterday evening at Clayton at about 21 feet, and things are falling fairly rapidly today. Right now we're looking at, we're still above major flood stage by just a couple of tenths of a foot or so, and we'll be falling below and getting below flood stage actually probably by mid-morning tomorrow. A little bit farther downstream at Smithfield, river has cresting this morning at about 29.1 feet, and should be turning and then starting to accelerate a little bit downward, but still remaining above major flood for the next day or so, probably on into early Wednesday morning, and then falling below flood stage late Wednesday. Notice our record here at Smithfield is 27 feet from Hurricane Floyd. So a new record set at Smithfield. And then down at Goldsboro, where all that water is going, notice that they rose really quickly on Saturday. That was attributed to all the the really heavy rain that fell right in the local area. And so it looked like it was kind of leveling off this morning on Sunday, or yesterday morning on Sunday. But now all that water from upstream that fell over Wake, Kent, Johnston counties is working its way down there. And so we're seeing it start to pick up a little bit and rise rather slowly. But the problem is there's a lot of water, so it's going to be cresting even 24 hours from now at about 28.7 feet. And all that water is going to be slow to pull out of there, and they're going to remain above major flooding, probably at least into next weekend, or this upcoming weekend, and above flood stage for maybe even a week after that. And a little river at Manchester, if you'll recall, it set a record flood stage just, I believe, on the 29th of last month, and then just a couple of days ago it set a new record flood stage reading, and then surprisingly last night it rose up a little bit more, and we've set a new record flood stage. So we've got 3 of them within the past 10 days. This morning it's near a crest at 31.7 feet, and it's going to be staying above major flood. Looks like in through tomorrow morning or midday, and then slowly falling and going below flood late this week. Lillington on the Cape Fear, big river with the big lake upstream, and the flow from the local area was enough to make it rise 18 feet and reached moderate flood stage, I believe, for the first time in my recollection that it's reached moderate flood at Lillington. And it's on the way down, and it's gone below flood stage this morning. So that crest at 19.41, that was, like I say, the first time I'd seen it reach that high. So going downstream to Fayetteville, a very fast rise. Big river, it went up from like 12 feet all the way to 58 feet, 59 feet. So a big 45-foot rise there, 45-foot plus. And finally it's turned, and it's just crept below major flood stage. And it'll take a few days for it to reach minor flood stage, and actually go back out of flood probably towards Wednesday night. And this is not a forecast point for us, but this is southern Sampson County, south of Clinton. And the Black River at Tomahawk, it drains almost all of Sampson County, and this is just a massive amount of water. It's I've been down there and visited, and it's just pretty astounding how many acres are inundated. It just at minor flood stage, and so we're still climbing. It's reached a record flood stage at 2707, and we don't have a forecast for it, but you can see that it is climbing steadily, so it's going to remain above major flood stage probably well into early next week at least. Some crests that we've noted already: Hall River at Hall River and Bynum crested on Sunday, just at moderate flood stage, and of course they are off to the west, which got a little bit less of rain. Deep River at Moncure, Lillington, Fayetteville crested at 58.9 feet. Not quite a record, I believe, but pretty darn impressive at major flood stage. Clayton at major. Little River at Manchester crested 3 times. And then near crest this morning, Smithfield and Lewisburg are right at crest and should start a very, very slow falling today. So that's going to wrap up our weekly briefing here, and I can take any questions. On your screen now you've got a couple of hydrograph locations. One of them is from the National Weather Service, and from our friends at the U.S. Geological Survey, who are to be greatly commended for all of them working over the weekend and going out and making sure that these gauges were going to work and do flow readings for us.